Welcome to another awesome episode of Rub-a-Dub. I'm your host, Rob. Today is Wednesday, December 28th, 2011. Only 3 awesome days left of this year. So let's get it going. Story number 1. But as you might remember this year, March 11th will stand in infamy as the day that Japan was touched by a tsunami. And not just any common tsunami, a 15-foot tsunami. At top levels of disaster struck were among the failures that turned the nuclear accident of Japan's Fukushima plant into the worst atomic crisis in 25 years. The panel, which is headed by an expert on why mistakes are made, said Tokyo Electric Power, which is actually TEPCO, TEP Corporation, the utility operating Fukushima's tsunami-wrecked Daiichi nuclear power plant, as well as regulators, failed to sufficiently anticipate a massive tsunami and the devastating impact likely will be resulted. The Daiichi plant, 250 kilometers or 150 miles northeast of Tokyo, was hit that knocked out the cooling system at the plant, which resulting in meltdowns of nuclear fuel. The government nuclear regulatory body, they are also to blame because they didn't force TEPCO to take any measures to make sure that hypothetically, if the 15-foot tsunami was to come and hit them, they would be okay. But what they did do actually in 2008, and they should have actually heeded the warning, is do a test trial. What would happen if the 15-foot tsunami was to rise up on Japan's shores and hit the nuclear power plant? Now, the government didn't actually enforce that TEPCO take the specific measures so that such additional construction would have been able to prevent a nuclear meltdown. And in 2008, TEPCO simulated a tsunami exceeding 50 meters, reaching Daiichi, but did not take action, dismissing the likelihood of a wave as that will never happen. The panel also said poor communication between the government's crisis management and the top officials, despite both of them being in the same building. How can that be? They're both in the same building, but there was a communication lacking between the two people. It's not like they had to travel a long distance. The 12-member panel was set up in May by the Prime Minister of Tokyo, Naoto Kan, and headed by Yatoro Hatamura, an engineering professor at Tokyo University, who specializes in the study of failures. Will release a final report next summer. The panel includes seismologists, former diplomats, and judges. Story number 2. This story takes place in Grapevine, Texas. Police in a very quiet suburb of Fort Worth worked all Monday feverishly trying to figure out on what exactly happened Christmas morning. That's what makes it really sick. Dressed up like Santa Claus. Yes, all decked out in Old St. Nick. Apparently shot 6 relatives. Yes, family relatives. Plus himself. This is actually one of the worst tragedies ever to happen in the area. Records show the couple had financial problems. Who doesn't? It's a bloody recession. Come on. And that their home, most recently valued on the county tax tolls of $750,000, has been sold in 2010 at a foreclosure auction. Now, we all know that Christmas isn't really for the adults. It's mostly for the kids. But there's a lot of pressure that adults go through having to provide an adequate Christmas for family and loved ones. I really hope this wasn't another case of people trying to provide the necessities of life but wasn't quite able to due to the fact that the stress got to this gentleman, I'm guessing. Maybe the pressures of the Christmas holidays are what really made this person snap. Story number 3. China launched a super rapid test train over the weekend, which is capable of traveling 500 kilometers per hour. State media said on Monday as the country moves ahead with its railway ambitions despite serious problems of a high-speed network. The train, made by subsidiary CSR Corp Limited, China's railway industry already has a tough year on the books. By early July, there had been a collision between two super high-speed trains, which killed over 40 people. Very sad day indeed. But did that stop China? Oh no, China never stopped for no one. Future Chinese trains will not necessarily run at such high speeds, reported CSR chairman Zhao Yangang told the Beijing Morning News. Now, if they're saying that other trains won't be going at this speed, why do they need this one train after what actually necessarily happened in July? It's almost like people don't learn from the mistakes. I just know that if I'm ever in China, which I doubt, I will never, ever ride a train that looks like a sword. Story number 4. I don't usually do 4 stories, so take this one as kind of bonus. And my last story for today takes place in a trailer park in Indiana. Now, I don't hate Americans. I just hate stupid. I hate lack of common sense people. I really do. Now, we're in a recession. We're in a recession. Sorry, worst accent ever. But they're in a recession. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, maybe thousands, that need a job. Why, if you have 3 kids, why would you let a crazy deranged guy with like scars all over his left side of his head babysit a 9-year-old girl? You wouldn't just think, I don't know, I'm getting a little bit of a weird feeling with this guy. This wouldn't pass by your mind? Seriously? You wouldn't think to yourself, maybe I should find a different babysitter? Or maybe they just finished watching that Jonah Hill movie, The Sitter, and thought that fun, laugh, and tomfoolery would just ensue. This guy is 39-year-old Mike Plumadore. Is a douchebag, Gumba jabroni of December. By far. The worst person I could possibly ever talk about on my show. Plumadore, this crazy SOB that lives in probably the most stankiest of trailer parks in Fort Wayne, basically had kept a 9-year-old's head, hands, and feet in his freezer over the Christmas weekend. Doesn't that stuff just make you want to go down to Fort Wayne with a baseball bat? That the authorities arrested this 39-year-old, of course, going away forever, who was watching Alina Lemon. God bless your soul, you left this earth way too young. He later confessed to killing the girl, cutting her up with a hacksaw, and disposing of most of her body at a nearby dumpster. The girl, who was allegedly killed last Thursday, yes, December 22nd, and reported missing on Friday, December 23rd, had been staying with Plumadore, a family friend, for about a week? What the hell are these parents be smoking? Anyone with kids, please do not let sickos with a bunch of weird, like, brain scars, like he had a lobotomy, like some sort of lobotomy scar on his forehead. Avoid those people, by all means. Like, look at it this way. What they had to do, if they had to get the groove on, if they had to go to Las Vegas, if they had to freaking do the most awesome round of Price is Right, whatever they had to do, they need a better babysitter. A family friend? There must be some sort of child endangering here, and if there isn't, then they just lump it up under stupidity, which is why I've said this story to begin with, because it is stupid. What isn't stupid is for you watching this show, because this show is just about done for another day. Thank you for tuning in. You've been doing with the best for another awesome day. Keep on rocking in the free world. Well, it's still free.